Good evening. My name is Stephanie Bishop. I'm one of the information officers here on the Eaton fire. We're going to have a short message for Spanish. Stand by.
Para los que nos escuchan en YouTube, asegúrense de activar sus subtítulos en español después de esta grabación. Gracias.
Thank you. Currently, the Eaton fire sits at 14,117 acres, and we're at 45% containment. Next up for an operations briefing, Recovery Operations Section Chief Jed Gaines.
All right, good afternoon. I'll go ahead and give you a quick update on the fire. Up around the north side of the fire, everything continued to look really well. All the way up around Mount Wilson, the crews are continuing to go direct as possible, improve our containment lines, mop up. We're using the helicopters today for any hot spots interior. We have infrared flights several times a day that we're continuing to utilize to put out any heat that comes up inside the fire perimeter. We are still within a red flag warning. We are confident that this fire will stay within the current footprint that it is in. And we're continuing, crews are out there all day and all night, continuing to put this thing out all the way. Down along the front country in the Altadena area, we have all three of our USAR teams, our urban search and rescue teams, are in there working today. We will have a large majority of all the structures within this fire finished today with our USAR, urban search and rescue, and our search and rescue teams today completed. Which is a great move. That just moves us one step closer to the next process. We are working with all of the utility companies, getting all the make safe operations complete, and we are having evacuations and repopulation meetings twice a day so we can get folks back into their homes as quickly as possible. We still have crews and engines in the La Cañada area today because we are still in a red flag warning. So we are in there if there was new starts or if this fire were to get out, we are prepared for that. We have crews staged at the La Cañada Country Club. We have extra water tanks that have been brought in that we have put up if there is a need. And we have identified resources to surge if there are any new fires or fires around this area. Please remember to know your evacuation zones. Please look up the Ready, Set, Go, and be ready if there's any changes to this fire or new starts in the area. Thank you.
Next up with a weather update, insert meteorologist James White.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James White. I'm the incident meteorologist for the Eaton fire. I've come up here several times. I've been talking about red flag warning conditions. You heard the Ops Section Chief just talk about it. Thankfully, the weather that we've actually observed has been all good news. So we're all past the highest risk periods of that red flag warning. Those Santa Ana winds have been gradually weakening through today, and they're going to continue weakening through tomorrow. We did observe some very strong gusts, especially there on Highway 2 over the past 48 hours. About 70 miles an hour or so was the peak gusts up there. We were lucky in the sense that not many gusts surfaced at all lower on the fire, and in fact the past couple days really haven't been much stronger than the days before. That's always a big uncertainty with Santa Ana events, where those winds are going to surface, and we were lucky with this event in that they didn't surface here, which is great news. Now, we are still very dry, although we're losing those winds over the next couple days. We're going to remain very dry through Thursday. So we're exceptionally dry for January. It's not normally this dry, and our relative humidities are anywhere from 10 to 20%. That, too, is going to start easing, thankfully, Friday into the weekend. We're still have very high confidence. We're going to get more marine influence in here. There's going to be a push of more moist air from the ocean. So we're going to have, by far, the best overnight recoveries that we've seen on this fire so far, and that means the humidity is going to rise up at night. So we're looking at RHs maybe 70 to 80%, and that's really good news when it comes to helping put out fire. We might get so much moisture that there's even a little bit of a chance of rain late in the evening, where it's very unlikely for us to get any amount of accumulating rain, but we could see just a little bit of drizzle here Friday night into Saturday morning. I do want to give a heads up that that break is going to be short. There's very high confidence that we're returning to a dry pattern next week, an exceptionally dry pattern, perhaps even drier than we are now. And there's also potential for another Santa Ana wind event. The strength of that remains highly uncertain. It's something we're watching very closely, but just a heads up that our break is going to be short.
Next up with fire behavioral analyst Dennis Burns.
Good afternoon, everybody. Again, fire is going to remain in its current footprint. You just heard James, you heard the ops chief. With the extremely dry conditions and even with the Santa Ana subsiding, it's actually been favorable for us. And one, we've tested our lines that we've put in. So far they've passed. But the other thing that it's doing, it's actually helping the fuels that are interior, and we're still showing quite a bit of heat interior to burn out. And so thus reducing the potential that anything could jump over the lines. And just to kind of go back over, we're still showing heat in the interior, mainly in these drainages and they're probably a little bit difficult for you to see. The drainages tend to have the most fuel because that's where the most water ends up. So plants grow there better than they do along the ridge tops. Down in Altadena specifically, we're still showing isolated heat pockets there. I compared it yesterday to something like probably like barbecue pits or something. It's not putting off a lot of smoke, but it is pretty intense heat. So it's not real visible. So it takes the crews quite a bit to get in and find where those are. So all in all, expecting the fire to remain the same where it's at and not anticipating anything getting outside of our lines.
Thank you for that update. Our next update in regards to evacuation and public safety will be with LA County Sheriff Captain Williams.
So I just want to give a few updates. We're still up to over 300 deputy personnel in the area, still on active missions. We're also continue to be partnered up with California Highway Patrol, National Guard, the DEA, and Pasadena PD. We have over 90 California Highway Patrol and over 100 National Guards assisting with all of the active missions we have in place. We're continuing to man checkpoints and roving patrols and looter suppression, and we'll continue that throughout the whole situation. Just want to talk about the damage inspection. The crews are working day and night. They're working tirelessly. They've inspected over 45% of the damaged area. There are several structures that are verified to be damaged. We're just urging people, they can check on a website to assess their property or see the pictures of their property. That website is recovery.lacounty.gov. Again, that's recovery.lacounty.gov. Just some public safety updates. The curfew still remains in place. That's from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and it's only for the evacuation ordered areas throughout Altadena. Again, that's 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew for the affected areas, evacuation ordered areas. As of today, they have made 36 arrests. They're for curfew violations, trespassing, burglary, and other charges. Please adhere to the curfew that is in place. It is being strictly enforced. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the repopulation efforts. There are a lot of plans in place. The department would like to thank the public for all of their help and understanding and cooperation and staying away from the affected areas. It's helping tremendously. We continue to ask for your patience. Our main priority is to repopulate these areas, but we want to do it in a safe manner. We don't want you to go into an area that's unsafe. There's a lot of crews that's working day and night to get these areas available. Different departments, the utility companies, the fire department, and the sheriff's department, we all have to agree before they can open up these areas. I know people may see that there's no fires in the area. However, there are other safety issues that they need to, that are some concerns. There are down power lines, debris in the roads, down trees, and of course there's utilities companies, vehicles and emergency vehicles in the area working, and we don't want anyone to get in the way of these people that are trying to do their jobs. It can be very unsafe for everybody involved. That's the main reason why we're keeping people out of these areas. There is progress. We're expecting more progress in the future. We just ask for people patience. However, when they do make it back, it's important that they assess their area. You can always, as you enter an area, we'll provide PPE available for you. We ask for people to wear the protective clothing necessary as they assess their area, and please refer to a professional to help you turn on necessary utilities. The patrols will continue as we start to repopulate these areas. As we open them up, there still will remain roving patrols and looter suppression, and we urge people, if they see suspicious things have happened to their property, to call us, and we will come out to investigate. We want to thank you guys, everyone, for their cooperation and their understanding, and just bear with us. We're working day and night to make sure that we can open up these areas. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. Next up with a water day update is Nina Jasmadarian, General Manager for Foothill Municipal Water District.
Hi, I would first like to begin by thanking the following agencies for the assistance they have provided to the Altadena community and the water agencies serving the community: CAL FIRE, Metropolitan Water District, Los Angeles County Public Works, and the Emergency Operations Center. Foothill is a water wholesaler comprising a 22 square mile service area in the Foothill communities between Pasadena and Glendale. We serve water imported by the Metropolitan Water District from the State Water Project in Colorado River. This water is then provided to 7 water utilities that serve the communities of La Crescenta, La Cañada, and Altadena Foothills. Most of these water utilities rely on a combination of imported water and groundwater to meet customer needs. 4 utilities within Foothills service area have been severely impacted by the Eaton fire. They are Kinaloa Irrigation District, Las Flores Water Company, Lincoln Avenue Water Company, and Rubio Canyon Land and Water Association. 7 reservoirs within these agencies have been severely damaged. The full extent of the damage is still being assessed. Out of a total people served of about 32,000, there are 9,800 connections within those 4 agencies, and about 4,200 of those connections to those homes have been lost. The 4 utilities have issued do not drink water alerts. Foothill and the retail agency's current focus is on immediate fixes to support near-term water availability for the retail agencies. They are also developing plans for long-term improvements to make our water systems more resilient to emergencies and other challenges to our water suppliers. The management and staff at these agencies are working tirelessly around the clock to assess their water systems and restore water service as quickly as possible. Additionally, Foothill is working with Metropolitan Water District to provide mutual assistance to its affected retail agencies. Metropolitan is providing emergency generator support, fueling, and repairs to maintain the pumps used by the retail agencies. Assistance has also been giving and securing bottled water for affected communities. Bottled water can be picked up at 4524 Hampton Road, La Cañada, between the hours of 8 and 4 tomorrow and next week, Tuesday through Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up with a update from SoCal Gas, Jessica Alvarenga, Public Affairs Manager.
Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to mention that SoCal Gas understands our customers without gas service during this already difficult time, and I want to assure you that our crews are working around the clock to safely secure natural gas infrastructure, assess the impacts of the fires, make necessary repairs, and continue restoring service to our customers. We are actively restoring service to homes not directly impacted by the Eaton fire. Our crews have restored service to 416 customers to the eastern part of Pasadena today, bringing the total number of restored customers to 782 thus far. Tomorrow's restoration efforts will continue in the eastern Pasadena community not impacted by fires. SoCal Gas is also receiving assistance from contractors and mutual aid from SDG&E and PG&E to support the restoration of our services as quickly as possible. For an up-to-date map on areas currently restored, in progress, and under assessment, please visit socalgas.com/fires. For the restoration process, please note the following. An adult 18 or older must be present during the restoration. SoCal Gas must have access to your meter and inside your residence to check the safety of your natural gas appliances. This process will take 1 to 2 hours. Never attempt to restore or turn on natural gas yourself. If we miss you, we will leave you instructions on how to make an appointment for gas restoration services. For more information or if you'd like to report a leak, please contact SoCal Gas at 1-800-427-2200. Or you can visit our informational booth located at Pasadena City College. For Spanish-speaking customers, si tiene preguntas en español para la compañía de gas, llame al número 1-800-342-4545 o vaya al puesto ubicado dentro del Colegio de Pasadena. Again, for up-to-date information on SoCal Gas work on the areas affected by the Eaton fire, please visit socalgas.com/fires. And thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Next, with the Public Works update from Los Angeles County Public Works Deputy Director Sid Tesoro.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Sid Tesoro, Deputy Director, Los Angeles County Public Works, with a message for residents affected by the devastating fires across LA County. Rebuilding after a wildfire takes time, careful planning, and collaboration. My message to you from state and local agencies involved in the recovery process is you're not alone. I know you're eager to return to your homes and neighborhoods. We ask for your patience as affected roads and utilities are assessed and the safety of homes and other structures is determined. Once that work has been done, property owners will be allowed to return. Now, once you've been allowed to re-enter your property, I strongly urge you not to attempt to remove hazardous fire debris yourself. Post-fire debris can contain toxic materials, including asbestos, lead, mercury, and other chemicals that are released when structures are burned. These materials pose a serious health risk if handled improperly or inhaled. And fire debris can also contain sharp objects. So take extra precaution. Make sure you're using the proper protective equipment, including goggles, gloves, and masks. The next stage is the removal of fire debris, which is a multi-step process. The first step is hazardous materials assessment. The fire department will coordinate with an assessment of fire debris and household hazardous waste removal. This process includes fire inspectors going property by property to provide the necessary clearances for safe removal of fire debris. It's a service provided at no cost to property owners and an essential step before actual debris removal begins. Step 2 is safe debris removal. Once hazardous materials are removed, the next phase of debris removal can begin. The county will launch a debris removal program to assist private property owners in safely cleaning debris. Detailed information about this program will be available soon. After debris removal is complete, the rebuilding process can begin. LA County is dedicated to streamlining permitting and building processes to help you rebuild your homes and communities. We know this process can feel overwhelming, but together we will rebuild stronger and safer communities. LA County is here to provide the resources and support you need as we recover and restore together. Stay safe and stay informed. Visit recoverlacounty.gov for ongoing updates and guidance. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. Next, from the Los Angeles County Joint Information Center, Kevin Chavez.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Chavez, here on behalf of the Los Angeles County Emergency Operations Center and Coordinated Joint Information Center. As we continue on the road of recovery, we wanted to share some reminders that you may find useful during this recovery journey. Disaster recovery centers and local assistance centers are now open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. to assist residents. Centers are open every day, 7 days a week for the foreseeable future. The Eastside Center is located at the Pasadena City College Community Education Center, located at 3035 Foothill Boulevard in Pasadena. It's a one-stop shop where residents can find help navigating the recovery process with resources for financial assistance, housing, funds for repair, and more to help individuals, families, and businesses. Information to help you prepare for recovery is available from federal, state, local, and nonprofit agencies. The county's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated in support of response and recovery efforts. For updated information, visit recovery.lacounty.gov. Thank you to all who have heard our call for financial donations to our trusted partners who are supporting the important work on the ground in our communities. Your generosity is making an impact. We continue to recommend that a financial donation is the best method to help those in need. As you choose to donate to the organization or cause of your choice, ensure that it is a trusted, verified organization with a proven record of service and accountability, such as ENLA, the Emergency Network Los Angeles, the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and the California Community Foundation. Lastly, on behalf of the American Red Cross, we share this message. If you've been impacted by wildfires in Southern California, the American Red Cross is here to help you recover. The Red Cross is currently reaching out to wildfire survivors to discuss their eligibility for financial assistance. If you have received a message or a call from a Red Cross representative, please follow the steps outlined in that message or visit redcross.org/gethelp to learn more. Please be aware of scams or people posing as Red Cross representatives. You will receive an invitation via email and text based on the contact information the Red Cross has for you. If you're unsure whether the Red Cross has reached out, please call 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 1-800-733-2767. Assistance from the American Red Cross is not considered a duplication of benefits for insurance or a government agency. The Red Cross is only part of the solution to recovery, and we encourage people who were affected by the recent wildfires to apply for federal disaster assistance at disasterassistance.gov or by calling 1-800-621-3362. FEMA approval is not required to be eligible for Red Cross financial assistance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, our incident commanders, Kevin Bohal and Alex Macbeth.
Good evening. To start off, I wanted to follow up with specifically what Captain Williams was speaking on, and that's updated damage inspection numbers. So to this point, we're 50% complete on damage inspections. We've done 10,607 structures, and unfortunately 613 are damaged and 5,356 are destroyed.
Good evening. My name's Alex McBath. I'm with the Unified Command. And I know a lot of the focus has been on the communities, rightfully so. That's our number one priority, and that's what most folks want to hear. But I do want to let you know that there's a suppression action going on with a lot of other resources putting in a lot of hard work. So some of the statistics that I want to share with you is that we've completed 88% of the lines that we have planned. Most of the lines that aren't complete have been, we have used retardant both out of fixed wing and rotor wing to harden and complete some type of line around the rest of that. What does that mean? That means that we've completed 42 miles of line so far. 29 miles of that is dozer line, 8 miles is hand line, and 5 miles of it is road that is used as line. Additionally, we have completed contingency line outside the fire perimeter. We had 8.5 miles planned. Out of that, we finished 6 miles of line. And that's both a mix of dozer and hand line. We've also utilized retardant and has been applied to back up those contingency lines. In closing, we are sitting in a very good place on the suppression side. We have the right resources, the right type of resources, and we have them for the right durations to stabilize this incident. Have a good evening, and thank you, and we're looking forward to your questions.
Thank you. Now we'll start our question and answer. And to start us out from FEMA, Nicole Wilson, who will answer some questions that you presented earlier this week.
Good evening. I am Nicole Wilson. I am a public affairs specialist here from FEMA, and I just want to address some of the questions that you have submitted. First, let's talk about what kind of assistance is available from FEMA. Individuals who were impacted by the fires have multiple options to receive financial assistance from FEMA. First, for the immediate needs, FEMA can offer financial assistance to help survivors pay for things like water, food, clothes, and diapers, formula for their babies. That's money that can help people right now while we continue to process their application. Once we move through that application process, there are several ways FEMA can continue to offer financial assistance. First, FEMA helps cover hotel costs for those who had to move away from their homes and are incurring expenses staying at a hotel. We may be able to help with that. If you're staying on a friend or family member's couch, we can help with some of that displacement cost. If you find a place to rent, we offer rental assistance. The first step to getting FEMA assistance is going to be to apply. There are 4 ways you can do that. You can go online at disasterassistance.gov. You can call us at 1-800-621-3362. You can go and apply on the FEMA mobile app if you're comfortable using an app. And then we just opened disaster recovery centers here in LA County. Right now there are 2 open, and that's where people can go get face-to-face one-on-one assistance, talking to a FEMA specialist who will walk you question by question through that FEMA app to help you complete that application so you can move forward in the process. Other questions that you guys have asked is the $770 that people receive per person or per household. That is per household. Also, how do we reapply for assistance from FEMA if you were denied? That's a really good question and something that we're hearing very often right now in the media. First thing, if you have applied for FEMA assistance and you were not approved or you received a notification that said you were ineligible, you do not need to reapply. You will get a notice to tell you, a letter from FEMA, and it will tell you exactly what is missing. Basically, all that means is FEMA needs more information from you to complete your application process. Sometimes that could be as small as your name was spelled incorrectly and we need to get that fixed, or a social security number was entered incorrectly, or you have insurance and we are waiting to receive a letter from your insurance company to tell us what they covered, because government regulations prevent FEMA from providing financial assistance for things that are paid for by other sources. So for example, if your insurance is going to pay for a washer and dryer, for example, then FEMA cannot pay also for a washer and dryer. So we need that letter from your insurance company to complete your application. If you receive a notice that says you are ineligible or not approved, it is not the end of your application process. Please call us or come see us at a disaster recovery center. We'll tell you exactly what we need to move that forward. Also, you have a question about GoFundMe. We understand that disaster is very challenging, and many times people turn to crowdfunding sources like GoFundMe. But as I just said, FEMA by law cannot provide funds for things that were already paid for by another source. So if your GoFundMe account specifically says that you are raising money to purchase a vehicle, then FEMA cannot pay for a vehicle because that money came from a different source, okay? So we encourage people to just consider very carefully how they create those accounts, okay? And then also, your question is, what the change in federal administration next week means, and does that mean a change in relief? Let me say that FEMA is here. We're on the ground. We are committed to helping the people here. It is a whole community approach. We are working very closely with our partners at the state, at the county. If you visit a DRC, you will see there are dozens of community organizations there to help the whole person. There are things that FEMA cannot do. For example, so many people left their homes with just the clothes on their backs. They don't have driver's license. DMV is at the recovery center and can help you find ways and get you on track to replace a driver's license. There are child care services there that can help talk to you about how to help a child navigate this very, very traumatic experience. So many resources there to help people. Please, if you have not applied, if you still have questions, come visit us at a DRC. We are here. The DRCs are open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. And we are going to be here to help this community as long as it takes.
Thank you for that information, and continue your questions coming in for FEMA as we will get them to theirs. Next up, I'm going to bring up from LA County Public Works Deputy Director Sid Tessero.
So there were some questions related to waste and debris disposal. Question was, there was a hazardous material removal process of 2 phases, which can take 6 to 8 weeks. Does this process apply to homes that are intact? And if so, would intact homes be started first in the process, since they may take less time than a home that is damaged or destroyed? Our building officials are evaluating the safety of homes, and that applies to all the homes that have been that are in the fire affected areas. In terms of the hazardous material removal process, that depends on the amount of homes that were affected by the fires. As you know, that's a large amount. So I don't have a time specific as to when that will be concluded. In terms of homes being inspected themselves, our building officials are looking at homes in terms of what is safe to re-enter, and also homes that may be partially safe to re-enter, and also what is not safe to re-enter. So that evaluation is ongoing, which leads to the next question, which is, please clarify if this means that those residents with homes standing will not be able to access or use their home until the process is completed. We're going through this by area. So as we complete the process in an area, then we'll work accordingly and coordinate when the homes that are safe to be re-entered can be re-entered. So it won't be until the end of the entire process. Just want to clarify that. two questions that are kind of tagged together. How do we clean ashes from the grass and lawns? And will Public Works be providing bulky item pickup? And as I previously mentioned, the debris removal is a multi-step process. And as I mentioned, I urge you not to touch the fire debris at this time. But in due time, we will have a program in place to remove those debris. So, thank you.
One of the other questions that came up that I'll just go ahead and address is, can you be more specific on evacuation zones? Which zones are supposed to be lifted soon and which zones take more time? As our Operations Section Chief, Jed Gaines, has mentioned, as well as Captain Williams, this isn't evaluated every day, at least twice a day, that we have meetings, so we don't have those zones immediately right away. As soon as they come up with a plan, that's when the information gets out. Right now, in regards to the FEMA the FEMA disaster places, Pasadena City College has one, and down in UCLA, we will be posting those direct addresses of where you guys can go on our websites. Thank you and have a good evening.